Would you believe it if I told you that if your account, your mobile money account, is not active for 9 consecutive months, all that money in that account will be transferred to the National Consolidated Fund? Hello, my name is Naga Joan, and this is the Ask Me About the Law YouTube channel. The Ask Me About the Law YouTube channel is a place where we have free and honest conversations on law, technology, finance, business in Uganda. We release new content every week. So please subscribe to this YouTube video, hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time I release new content, and I release content every week. You can also follow us on social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. We release mini videos series every day. Kindly follow us there so that you're updated. So now you're probably wondering, what is an e-wallet? The first thing you need to know is that your mobile money account wallet falls into the definition of what an e-wallet is. Your cheaper cash e-wallet falls into the definition of what an e-wallet is. Your Ayoba wallet falls into the definition of what an e-wallet is. Your SafeBoda cashless wallet falls into a definition of what an e-wallet is. Now, anything that sort of looks similar to that, to the examples I've given you, your Walden remit wallet falls into the criteria of what an e-wallet is. So all those individuals are bound by the new law that was passed in Uganda, which is called the National Payment Systems Act. The National Payment Systems Act 2020 is the law that endeavors to protect you, the consumer, and the money that you have in that e-wallet. Now, to put it lightly, if I get my phone, I'm trying to give you an example of what an e-wallet is. If I get my phone and there's an app, a platform, a software that sort of says that if I transfer money into that account, I can use that money in that account to transact in Uganda. That is an e-wallet. So that's why I'm giving you examples like SafeBoda, I'm giving you examples like cheaper cash, I'm giving you examples like yellow pages. Now, important takeaway you need to know is that in the context of the definition of Uganda and legality, the definition of e-wallet does not apply for this video, and also in the context of the National Payment Systems Act, the definition of e-wallet does not extend to things like cryptocurrency. If you look here, and also in the description box of this video, I've done a video about cryptocurrency in Uganda, but I'm going to make it clear that cryptocurrencies are illegal in Uganda, and as such, the definition of e-wallet in this video in regards to National Payment Systems Act does not apply to cryptocurrency. Therefore, if you have a cryptocurrency wallet, the regulation I'm talking about in this video will not apply. Let me explain. So if I get on my phone, I want to make a transaction. Let's say I want to buy pizza, and I will go to my phone, I place the order via any platform that really would allow me to make an order. Now, individuals like mobile money are players in the national payment systems ecosystem. Now, also individuals like the bank, because they're the ones who will make sure and confirm to the vendor that I have money on my account, therefore they are transferring money to their account so that they can give me the pizza that I've ordered for. All those individuals I've talked about are players in the ecosystem. Let me give you more examples. Any vendor, SafeBoda, Jumia, Taxify, Uber, all those are players in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Mobile money, MTN, Airtel, because they're the operators of this mobile money, all of them are players in the National Payment Systems ecosystem. Even your bank is a player in the national payment ecosystem. So in summary, all these players are bound by the National Payment Systems Act. So now you're probably wondering, why was the Uganda National Payment Systems Act 2020 enacted in Uganda? Didn't we have any laws at that point in time to regulate the mobile money ecosystem? So in 2013, Bank of Uganda released the mobile money guidelines in 2013. Unfortunately, those guidelines were not comprehensive. They only covered but a few things, which raised questions like what we started with at the beginning of the video. What happens to my money on my mobile money account if my account is not active for 9 constant months? Let's say I passed away or I traveled. So all those questions were not addressed by the Mobile Money Regulations 2013. And in any case, as a consumer, with the constant increasing fraud issues that have been happening in the country, it's only warranted that fintechs, the businesses that are encouraging people to open and use their platforms, they're maintaining people's income, people's money in their e-wallets. It only made sense that there was a regulation that bound them in case they fled with people's money. And also as a consumer, you would feel more secure if you sued and there was a regulation you could be sued. Hence the National Payment Systems Act. But take a listen to other players in the market who think that the National Payment Systems Act 2020 was a necessary regulation.
Just a few days ago of having mobile money also regulated by maybe the central bank. Do you get the sense that that was timely at the moment to have mobile money also being regulated away from this being a UCC issue? Because we're talking about a lot of money here.
Actually, if you're talking about payments law generally, Uganda is one of the few countries in the world which wasn't actually regulating it. So it was very timely. And for mobile money especially, because it plays a very crucial part of the financial system. You talked about it being a UCC issue, but it's actually a financial sector issue. The statistics show that 50% of Uganda's GDP moves through mobile money, as opposed to the normal banking system.
50%.
Yeah, so it poses a great systemic risk to the financial sector. So I think it was timely that it should be regulated, 50%.
So to answer your question, in regards to the question of what happens to dormant accounts, this is addressed by the National Payment Systems Act, which first of all defines a dormant account as an account that has not, as an e-wallet account that has not been active for 9 consecutive months. I really emphasize the consecutive in there. That account need not have made a transaction for 9 consecutive months. So that would be sending and receiving money on that e-wallet. So like to recap, e-wallet would include your mobile money. So if you have not made a transaction for 9 consecutive months, your mobile money account, your cheaper account fits into the criteria of a dormant e-wallet. Now, Section 57 of the National Payment Systems Act proceeds to stipulate that if that account is not active for 9 consecutive months, the following will happen. The first thing is that 1 month towards the end of those 9 consecutive months, your issuer of that e-wallet will make a communication to you informing you that, hey, your account is not active, you need to make a transaction. If those 9 months elapse and you do not make a transaction as noted, your account will be labeled as dormant or deactivated or just temporarily sealed. Now you have 6 months after these 9 consecutive months to renew or reinstate your account. You can reinstate your account by simply making a transaction on that account within those 6 months I've talked about, those 6 months which happen after the 9 consecutive months. If you still do not make a transaction in those 6 months, the money now on that account will officially be bundled up and transferred to the National Consolidated Fund, which is an account held by Bank of Uganda that collects all the money, sort of like a basket for all the dormant money or from other people's accounts. Of course, not everyone was happy about this, and I'm going to leave their comments on that in that regard somewhere in the video. Now, once the money is there, you have 7 years to appeal to the National Consolidated Fund to have them transfer back your money. Now, I for one have not gone through that process. I mean, just applying for my national ID was bad enough. So if this is something you have experienced as an individual, kindly leave a comment in the comment section. Let us interact. I for one have not experienced it, so I cannot comment, but with my national ID experience, I'm just not optimistic about the whole process. But anyway, you have 7 years, and the available option for you is that you as an individual can appeal to have your money transferred back into your account, or any of your family members, in case you passed away, can appeal within those 7 years to have that money transferred back to you, and it will. So it alleges. So National Payment Systems Act also proceeds to state other very important takeaways, which include the licensing process for any issuer of an e-wallet that wants to get into the business and do business in Uganda. Section 7 of the National Payment Systems Act lists these procedures, the licenses that need to be paid, their fees, the process and the categories of companies and individuals that can apply for these licenses in Uganda. It's all provided for in there. Now take a listen to one of the players in the National Payment Systems Act. They were having an interview on NTV, what they had to say about the licenses that were provided that are provided under the National Payment Systems Act, because not everyone is happy about these licenses. Now, if you're caught in Uganda operating and you're issuing e-wallets to Ugandans and you don't have a license that is required of you under the National Payment Systems Act, you will face liability of you face criminal liability Now, if you're caught operating an e-wallet as an e-wallet issuer and you don't have a license as required by the National Payment Systems Act, you will face criminal liability. If you are an individual, a fine of 40 million. If you are working under a corporate body like a company, your liability will be 140 million Uganda shillings. So you need a license to operate and issue an e-wallet to Ugandans, and it is required of you under the National Payment Systems Act 2020.
For you to apply, you need 2-year audited books. Where am I going to cook the difference? So these are, again, the small gray areas. Then, of course, the other issue that's not touched because of the application fees, and they are different. You have the application fee, the license fee, the annual fee, and then I have taxes to consider. So all this is just wailing on a startup after 6 months, so it just doesn't make sense.
So the National Payment Systems Act also has other requirements that your issuer of your e-wallet has to uphold, maintain, and ensure they are observed when they are issuing an e-wallet, when they're issuing an e-wallet and operating your e-wallet. So these include making sure that they observe data protection of you, the consumer. I'm also going to leave a link to a blog and a video I did in regards to what your rights are as a consumer, your data rights as a consumer, which include the fact that they should not share your information without your consent, or that the fact that the things that's private information, you're sharing out this information is a violation of your rights as a Ugandan, and you can seek legal remedy if that right is violated. So now you're probably wondering, what's the rationale? Why is Bank of Uganda involved in issuing out these licenses to people that are operating e-wallets, businesses that are issuing out e-wallets to individuals? So one of the responsibilities, Bank of Uganda is the central monetary regulating body in Uganda, and it's an assignment it attained by virtue of the Bank of Uganda Act, in particular Section 2, which establishes Bank of Uganda as a central bank whose sole function, which includes, among others, to formulate, implement policies directed to the economic objectives of achieving and maintaining economic stability. It is by virtue of this provision alone that Bank of Uganda can release statements saying that cryptocurrency is not legal tender in Uganda and everyone pays attention. It's literally falls in their assignment, their responsibility and duty as Bank of Uganda. So Section 9 of the National Payment Systems Act proceeds to state that Bank of Uganda has the responsibility as the supreme license body of Uganda to ensure that these businesses that are practically keeping or transacting or holding or maintaining your e-wallets observe and do not create an environment where the monetary value of the Ugandan process under the National Payment Systems Act, where anyone that is interested in operating a business that may amount to e-wallet. It took the creation of an e-wallet by Ugandans in order to use that business, and it's provided for under the National Payment Systems Act. Now, any license applicant who would like to challenge the issuing them not getting a license because they have failed to meet the requirements that are provided for under the National Payment Systems Act, they will then have within 30 days to appeal to the High Court. The High Court of Uganda is the one that will sit down and deliberate on the way forward. But ideally, the process stipulates that if you meet the requirements which are provided for under the National Payment Systems Act, you will receive a license. So these requirements include a minimum balance, a license of doing business. Generally, they're all provided for. If you meet them, technically you should receive that license. If you do not meet that license and you feel that the whole process has been unfair, then you can appeal to the High Court. The High Court will address the situation on the way forward. So this is a disclaimer. Nothing that is shared or stated in this page should be constructed to be legal, tax, or professional advice. This video is not a law firm, and the page should not be interpreted as creating an attorney-client or legal advisory relationship. For questions regarding your specific legal, financial inquiry, please consult a qualified attorney or financial advisor. You have been watching the Ask Me About the Law YouTube channel, where we have free and honest conversations on law, technology, trade, finance in Uganda. My name is Nagarev Joan. If you enjoyed watching this YouTube video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave a comment in the comment section. Any questions, feedback, suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. We release new content every week, so if you subscribe, hit the notification bell, you will never miss any of the videos we upload. Until next week's video, I remain yours truly, Margaret Joan.